I be working my wrist. 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 James Harden with the pot. I be working my wrist. James Harden with the shot. I be working my wrist. 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 James Harden with the pot. I be working my wrist. James Harden with the shot. I be working my wrist. I be working my wrist. Cooking audio discs. Looking dope in my fit. On the top where I sit. I be piping your woman. Yeah, you hear that, bitch. Hit the booth and start cooking. I be working my wrist.
Oh, damn, stop late. I was just like, no, you'll get this screen.
Hey, welcome to the fucking show. It's Cameron,
Valerie,
Ace,
Boss. God. No.
What'd you say?
No.
And today we have a few subjects to talk about.
Yeah.
The first one I'm going to talk about is some conspiracy theory shit.
you know I like the
Monsanto is being taken down.
Who's that?
You don't know who Monsanto is?
explain who Monsanto is.
Monsanto is just a bad guy that everyone has made into this. No, it's a corporation that is basically in control of, like, you know, pesticides like Roundup and
I heard about the Roundup.
Bayer and all that
Yeah.
kind of shit. Yeah, there was just a giant lawsuit on the Roundup by Monsanto. The guy, he got awarded like $200-something million, but his lawyers basically took all the shit because he's dying. So
We're the wrong fucking.
That's true.
Yeah.
I got $1 million, $100 or $200 million.
but
And I'm dying tomorrow.
But what's fucked up also about Monsanto is they found like a lot of the products that were in Roundup or still are in Roundup are in your fucking Cheerios and all that other shit.
I mean, the
So-
same thing happened.
Throwing my cereal when I get home.
Rap movie is cereal, so that's
Oh yeah,
The same thing.
yeah. You're allowed one turd per
Box
ounce
or
of
something like
cereal.
that?
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, the same thing happened with
Wait,
Subway.
go say why?
Okay,
Well, I want
so
what?
because they're working warehouses and it's metal, blah blah blah. Like rats love, I guess they love metal, whatever. But like, so what they do is they have a sit there. They sit most of the rat poop, but the FDA has a limit because you can't pay someone to sit there and
And
go.
take
And
it out.
imagine trying to find a small piece of rat poop like this big in like Cocoa Puffs or Cocoa Pebbles. You couldn't. You have to take them out individually.
That's
I hope you know I'm never eating cereal.
I really
again.
don't.
It's any food.
That's
That's any food.
It's mainly cereal, but yeah, for most stuff, kind of.
Anything that's packaged in
Why
a
do you have to
factory.
cook cereal for me?
Yeah, if you
Love
like if you're
cereal.
eating like a cereal like frosted flakes and you find anything that's not like tanned, then don't eat it.
It is not great.
Even with sodas like from like Pepsi and Coke or
Oh no,
whatever.
they found full
Yeah,
rats
you
in
can
those.
get like full rats in those.
How though?
Did you guys ever see the report where the guy tried to sue Mountain Dew? He's like, hey, I found a rat carcass in my Mountain Dew. And Mountain Dew replies, that's insane. Mountain Dew eats up rat carcasses.
That's true.
Dad.
Saying that,
It's true. That's very like.
Saw the report and I
acid.
put down the Mountain Dew. I was like,
So
Is that where you gonna leave
Consider
from
my
the
own-
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
Stan, it's like
saying.
Stanley in the Hulk. It's like, whoa.
Whoa.
I don't like Mountain Dew.
Oh no, you said I had the right one.
Wow,
Never
that's
been.
amazing.
Bob Blast.
Bob Blast.
Cold Red's my favorite.
Oh no, I heard about
Yo,
how
you guys seen the video of the guy, the fat guy, just drinking all the Mountain Dews?
Wait, I'm
Have you
serious.
seen it? Have you seen it?
No, I was
No?
just looking at
Oh.
He's trying to be funny.
God.
Even though you drink more Mountain Dew than me, he's
Get
cool.
ready to do.
Oh my god, just look up like fat black guy drinks Mountain Dews. People say he looks like me because, you know, he's like this, his ears are like this. But he like fucking drinks 4 of them. He's like, oh, live wire. Cracks it.
This-
Like, it's, yeah.
Remember how you were asking us about if like there's ever been like someone doing dead bodies at our job? So I was listening to Breakfast Club throughout that week. And it popped up to like, oh, this damn security guard, well, in Tennessee got caught, you know, necrophilia, blah, blah. That was the funny part. His name is Cameron.
Like, serious? Yeah?
I've
Oh,
showed you a
man.
picture.
Yeah, it wasn't me, I swear. I swear. It
Hey,
wasn't me.
Cameron, what
But it was hypothetical.
I was listening to like, blah, blah, and he got the Cameron. I was like,
He was like, wait.
You have to look again
He's
to make
still
sure.
online.
Cameron, I'll cut you.
He told me about. He's like, yo, did you? Oh, this happened. And I'm like, all right. He's like, that's not the funny part. I'm like, oh, that is funny. He's like, his name was Cameron. I'm like,
He's probably asking us questions like, so what's the code?
So how do you get away?
Just claim the same.
Right?
Nobody do everything.
Oh my god.
They always do that though.
Here. Why am I in this? Why?
I wasn't in the stable. God.
Oh man.
Alright, not that we offended everybody.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
next?
definitely.
For real.
Especially the dead.
First 5 minutes too.
Not that hole. So,
There we go.
woo!
we off to a great start.
Yes,
Definitely.
it's gonna be a great show.
Oh my god.
This is where we go.
All right, so
I'll be in church.
Don't worry.
the next subject I want to talk about is insecurities.
Sweet.
Yeah, definitely. Does anyone here have insecurities or know anyone with severe
If you're a
insecurities?
human being, you're gonna have some type of insecurity.
I have purged all that from my being.
Sure.
Okay, Kim Kardashian.
Oh wait. What?
Well, they talk about how she's like the most
I'm
confident
gonna
person
bleep
ever.
that name
She's
out
not.
of this podcast. That's
Oh,
more
yeah.
I bet
confident.
she's not, but I'm
Yeah.
thinking to the fact, you know,
Pretty
people
much.
say, oh, she's like the most confident, the most beautiful. I'm like, what
You're-
is that
you're just
for?
You're
giving
confusing her or Rihanna.
Yeah.
You're confusing
No, but
her and God.
Rihanna can get it. Rihanna, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. I'm bleeping out every
Yes,
celebrity
switch it.
name.
Just
here.
switch it with somebody saying
Why you gotta
Rihanna.
bleep out her?
I'm not trying to give them clout. I'm trying to give us clout.
We
Pretty
could
much.
give Rihanna clout.
Nah.
Okay.
She gets nothing.
We need music
She
from
wants
you,
to go
though.
to-
You've been taking a little
That's
too
right.
long to make this music, girl.
All right, so
That's a long story.
gotcha. Like, so since I'm talking about our insecurities, has anybody ever watched the show Insecure?
No.
I've seen.
Little here's
Yeah,
and
I've
there's.
seen
Yeah,
it.
little
If you
here's
ever
and
want to see someone who make really bad decisions and you think you're making bad decisions, watch that show. Yeah, they'll make you really rethink some shit. Like, oh man, I'm so happy I didn't do that. Well,
Was.
another thing, which I'm going to spin off into another subject, is because they were showing the character. She's made so many bad decisions in her life, so she's trying to get her own apartment. But she goes to her friend who works at a bank, and in the background, or I'll say like the foreground or whatever, like, or you know, off in the fucking distance on the computer, you see her credit score. Her fucking credit score is 425.
What? You know what I would do for a 425 credit score right now?
425.
Damn.
What?
425.
I'm like,
What
I'm
decisions
talking
have you
to
been making?
So she goes.
It's called not knowing anything about credit. They don't teach you that shit.
They don't.
I
They really
You
don't.
go to a black school or a Spanish school, they don't teach you shit.
Like, here's how
You
you
only
make
talk
it.
to black kids.
Spanish school,
Yeah.
they're like, this is how you make rice and beans. Have fun.
Right.
But on my life,
I
that's
still
all
can't
you
make
need.
the, still can't make the first one.
Rice?
Is either mushy, Play-Doh, or clay. My mom's
Or
like-
clay, yeah,
my mom's like,
that's
you know
true.
what, you try me.
What, you don't
You
get
know
hard
what's,
rice?
you know what's good? Nah.
Hard rice.
You put it for a minute, it says minute rice.
A lot of people like the bottom of it when it's really hard and
Pegao?
crunchy and pegao. A lot of people like that. They'll like.
It's just disgusting.
It is disgusting, but a lot of Spanish people like that. They
No,
find,
no, they
like,
sell it separate in like in
they
Spanish
do.
stores.
They do.
What?
Yeah.
So they're very
Hard rice,
unhealthy.
hard rice.
Yeah, hard
Pegao,
rice
like,
cooked
it's
already, but
crunchy
like
shit.
you know the bottom that was like really hard.
That
The
you
bottom
throw
of
away.
it.
That means you
The
ain't
burn
stirring that shit.
The burn part,
The
basically.
burn
Oh,
part.
no.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's very out of layer. You can't do it in the body.
So
It's
basically,
like,
it's
you know
Rice
what? We can
Krispies.
make it
Yes,
sense.
basically
Basically,
rice
salty-
Krispies.
salty Rice
That's where
Krispies.
they got Rice Krispies from. That's where it's called.
No.
Rice.
Oh. Oh,
Or-
man.
I'm pretty sure they said they just put some marshmallows in this and just make it
The
sweet.
thing
Luckily, you're
is,
hearing this stuff because I know you're on a diet, so you just swear off food altogether.
Yes, and he's actually been doing really good.
I
You
cheated
can tell the
yesterday.
difference.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he's
We're
wearing a
allowed
shirt
one
that
cheat
has
day.
pizza. I see that pizza.
I had pizza
It's
yesterday.
We're allowed one cheat day.
Listen,
But he's been doing
he's
really
not
good. So
your
shout out
body,
to
a gift from
Cameron.
God. Don't deny that from him.
It's okay.
He's a
Coffee's from the devil.
He's a merciful God.
Oh, right. Well, so like we were talking about, we don't learn this stuff in school, nor do our families teach us this shit either, which should change. Like recently, I got myself a secured credit card, and my credit score went up 93 points. So
Dang.
it only.
One of our coworkers, Connor, he was looking at a
Of course
video
you
about
know.
that. Yeah, this is Connor.
You know it ain't.
He's like
Oh my
looking up a
God.
meme of that. He's like, oh, they never teach us in school how to look up our credit scores. And he goes, why would a government entity try to teach you about something financial for a government entity?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You know what? I sent him a text
Makes
yesterday. He
sense.
was like, I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's deep.
Anything else? No.
That's all he said. It's like, that's deep. Wow, it's
Right.
keeping me on red.
I was like,
At least he responds.
right?
It's better to be left on red. Like, I know you got it. I see you, brother.
That's
Oh,
me and Figure
man.
most of the time.
Oh, right?
That's
Yeah.
just like girl thing. It's just like, oh my god, his heart and soul.
No, but you know what
Seen
I
3 days
learned
ago.
too? You know what I
I love
learned?
you all,
Sometimes you think you opened it, or sometimes you think you replied, and you never did. And when you go back at the message, you're like, oh shit, I never
So
replied.
where we
Oh,
go? So where we gonna stop lying? We gonna stop lying right here, or we gonna stop lying when you get that speed?
No, it's true, and I'm pretty sure you've been through it before. Because I've had places where I'm like, oh, I get a text message, I'm like, oh, I'll text you in a second, and then I just forget, and then the next day, oh, you never wrote to me back, and I'm like,
That's
oh
what
shit, I never did.
That's what you say. Girls with shirts saying, "I forgot to text you back," and it's just like in the back, it's like liar.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
Alright,
damn.
That was a lot better.
Oh,
Nah, no.
boy.
If I don't want to write to you, I just won't write to you. But if I forget, I forgot.
I've usually done it, or that's not crazy. I just text back, like, it's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, shit. Go back to sleep. Everyone texts me when I'm sleeping. I wake up, I go there, and they're like, hey, guys, what do you think about this? I'm like,
I'm more respectful. I'm like, I know that you're asleep. I know that you're sleeping all day or something like that because you work at work. And I'm like, okay, you'll get back to me in the morning. If you don't get back to me in the morning, I'll see you in the weekends.
I go to sleep at weird hours, so sometimes when people are texting me and I'm laying down and I'm like, nigga, what?
Yeah, like that time
I
that
make
we
the
were
mistake.
writing to you and you completely like answer halfway and then you never answer again and we were like, okay.
Especially
What
when I thought we
happened?
had the bubbles going off.
Oh, yeah.
When are you gonna finish your statement?
Where the bubbles go up and nothing was written and you're like,
no, the
did
mistake
you
I had
change
to
your
learn-
mind? Like what
the mistake I had to
happened?
learn is like when you're like falling asleep and you're in like they're starting a conversation, just don't even start it. Because I'll start like texting like, oh, bam, all right, one more, and we're done with the conversation. Oh, you're still going.
You
I'm
know what
trying
you
to
do?
sleep. I just
Snooze it.
See,
Yeah, you can definitely
Oh
snooze
no,
it.
I will sleep with it raining, but it's like mid conversation. I'm gonna drop off. I'm like, I'm not trying to have this much talking. This is where I go to sleep. Like no, I know it's 8 o'clock at 7, but I want to tell you everything that's going on today.
See,
It's
just like
no.
now, right?
Boom, light.
this is funny. I'll be texting him and Vito in a group chat, and then I'm like, oh
Oh, we always
yeah, answer
talking
it
about
once, put it down, go to sleep. When I wake up, there's 26. I'm like,
What did I miss?
and no, this is the funny thing. I scroll, and then I saw something one day, and I scroll back up, and it's like he's basically making fun of Vito, like, oh, you have flat foot.
I have what?
You basically told Vito like, oh, you have flappy foot. Something about flat
Flappy
foot.
feet or something?
Hold on, I gotta do that. Continue what you gonna say. I'll find it.
No, like we had one time where it's like he used to work morning or like afternoon or whatever. But he'd be sleeping like the whole next day. So me and Vito like so we're texting. So it's just all caps yelling at him. Me and him yelling back, and it's just like 40 of them. And midway through, I'm like, boss is gonna be wondering what the fuck we're yelling about.
Right.
Like an hour later, all I hear is beep, beep. What the fuck is going on? Gets it like 3 times. Every time he's like, what did I miss? I can't read all this.
Right? Yeah, I'm definitely not reading all that.
And it's just emojis and like fire signs. Like it's nothing.
Oh, man.
Just do
Well,
this, just
conversation is
leave
just funny.
conversation.
Delete it, yeah.
Delete
Yeah, I'm not even gonna follow it. Unfollow
Soul
post.
insecurity.
Yeah. Well, since no one's watching Insecure, we can no longer talk about that. But
Well,
we
we-
will continue to talk about the credit score shit because that is one thing that you
Maybe we can get a credit person or a person that deals with credit who can actually come and explain to all of us how credit works.
I'd just rather go on Google.
Google be killing you, okay? If you have a headache and Google says you're dying today, so
No, that's
I wouldn't-
WebMD.
I wouldn't be
No
that.
matter how high.
You don't remember back in our school, back in high school, we had a class like that.
We did, but
Mr. Gordon.
Mr. fucking Gordon was being trolled. He couldn't get shit out.
He'd be like, oh, what?
What the fuck?
Like he was Haitian. He's like Haitian.
No, he was Jamaican.
Jamaican.
He was Jamaican.
Don't ever mix up in front of him.
Yeah, so I called him Haitian and he flipped the fuck out.
And then we lost the whole school day.
Yeah. Dude, he put on something. I forgot. I think he put on Gattaca one day. I was like, this is unrelated to economics. This should be played in like fucking biology class.
I don't think that was economics. Was that economics?
Yeah, that was economics.
That's economics.
Yeah.
That's when he gave up on teaching. He was like,
skills.
here.
Yeah.
Side
One day he just put on the news. He was like, "Look, the home market fell. What do you think guys think about that?" And I was like, "We don't fucking have houses. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about right now?
Half of us live in apartments. Our parents can't afford houses. What are you talking about?"
You're talking to like you didn't know your demographic.
Right.
Most people was like, go, like that's why like half the teachers in high school I hated. There was only a couple. It was awkward. It's like the people that understood like the struggle for like people that lived in like me, I kept bouncing from house to house type shit, and we kept moving. But like I have friends that lived in like houses that are like run down or whatever. And like the only people that understood like you gotta speak to the kids in their language or like what they're going through were like my teachers. My teachers didn't give a fuck. They're just like, no man, I made it. Live in the house now and just keep on worrying about the things. It's like you would think you would understand the levels, but no.
Teacher's like, I actually eat sliced cheese now.
Yeah.
I don't
And it's
know
individually,
cheese.
it was packaged individually.
Oh yeah, it was Sargento.
I moved to Jersey and like we got the cheese. I was like, yeah, it's sliced. Like I was like, this is a whole block. What the fuck? And I was like, no. Then she like peeled it off from the other one. I was like, I looked at her. I was like, what's going on? No, it's like no. I mean, Jordan and my mom and dad like we had a good financial. Like, we were caught in the financial standard where like if you get a house for this year and what is it the rate is like let's say a single digit and then the next year is like 14 and then like 37, so then losing the house and destroying the credit. But like I mean I grew up like you know like the cheese individually packaged, so I thought that's what always came.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we hit our tires and I'm looking at my mom, what's this? What's that? Mom was like, oh, I'm from the Bronx. This shit is nothing. Just bam, just keep going. I was just like. My mom's like, yeah, like, no more privilege left. Privileged life.
See, it gives you a different perspective of life.
What I thought was up here, and now it's not even up here.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, then when it's like, when you get older and then you get in the same situation, you're like, I went through this already, I already know how to deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't affect you as bad. But it's like, if you stay up here in the stand, you're like, oh, I got this from my mom, I got this. Then you leave them, like, I can't pay this, I can't pay that, I can't pay this, I can't pay, they don't know
I
what
know
to do.
somebody exactly like that,
So
what
it's
you're just
like-
talking about. Yep.
Half of the world is like that.
Yeah, that's why
Yes.
suicide rates are so high. But they can't pay that, so they can't charge me if I'm dead. I'll probably charge my family.
Yeah.
I keep going to sleep, waking up, often my mom calls me, she's like, hey, it was all a joke, I want to see you become humble.
What?
Oh, like all the.
Yeah, like the
This is
memes.
me that was like,
I tried that,
I
no,
live
we're
my
poor
whole
for
life
sure.
for it, you're a good guy. So I'm still waiting for the text to be like, surprise, you're 25. We had you live a poor life just to see if you would be humble. Now here's your $1 million in your Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, it's never gonna happen.
Never can happen for you.
I was like, I'm just checking the phone, just making sure it's working.
How would you react, like, if that were to happen?
I would
though?
cry.
I would
What?
I'd be mad as
I
hell
don't-
on my
you
mom.
wanna
I'm
see
like,
my
don't
car
talk
is?
to me
My
ever.
car is some pennies.
Understand?
That's my car now, because my I had a cracked block. My car, that's like $3,000. I bought my car for like $1,100 or $1,800. No AC, so I'm gonna pay $3,000 just to get the motor back and all the liquids and the top of it was power steering, so the rope for that was snapping. They're like, yeah, any turn you'll die. And then all this stuff, I'm like, the guy's like, yeah, but you can still like fix this. It's not a death sentence for the car. I'm like, but it is for me. No AC in Florida?
Right?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
I jumped that car.
It just shows, man. We could work any job in this place. No matter what, you don't have the money unless you have roommates that equal the same amount. You can't make a living for yourself.
But like credit is so important. I never realized how important credit was till like of course like my started messing whatever. But I was following this dude on YouTube and just because I was looking up for the like a new Dodge Viper. I'll never be able to afford it. I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
I just want to hear it.
That's what I'm
Go broom broom.
Yeah, for real. But like, so like, he has a whole bunch of cars, but then he's like, the reason he's able to get like a lot of these cars is because he befriended the people that like work there, and they do stuff together like collabs and YouTube and whatever. But he's like, there's still cars that I can't get. I have to buy secondhand because like he's like credit. Doesn't matter how much money you have. This guy's a millionaire, and like he'll go to certain places. Like he went for this one Porsche place, and they're kind of assholes in some places, and they're like, he's like, I couldn't even get a 911. I have a Lamborghini that's worth twice as much and blah, blah, but it's like your credit really matters. And him at his level of money, and he's investing in businesses, and like I'm seeing his rise from kind of wherever to like now he's doing a lot of stuff.
Right.
He's like, he's stressing, he's like, yo, this is the shit they don't ever tell any of us. Like I
Yeah.
was Ford Mexico, came here,
Credit is
And,
everything.
You're talking about the guy with the glasses and shit? It's like, this is my Lamborghini. This is a thing of books here.
No, that's what this dude.
That fucking commercial got me.
I said, listen to it. He's like, yeah. If you read my book, I'm like, nah, you said read.
We for sure
But no,
not
but
that.
like, this, but like, yeah, he's like, you know, at our level, like, we don't have great credit. And like, his friend or his cousin doesn't be ignoring her as much, and ended up, they both got the same Lincoln Navigator, and he was amazing. His cousin got at a better rate, and like all the bells and whistles, all the insurance cheaper than he has to. He has to pay more, and he has way more money than him. It's like, no, it doesn't matter how much money you have,
It's
credit
money,
is
it's
why.
credit is
Yeah.
everything.
Especially when you're trying to get a house, man. They look at your credit.
Yeah.
They say, oh.
Look at
Credit-
all three of your credit.
Credit is
Yeah.
basically what makes you like, okay, this is a reliable person, this is a responsible
But
person,
if
and
you have
this
good
is
credit,
a
that doesn't always
trustworthy
mean you're
person.
reliable.
Exactly,
Which is
but
fucked up.
that's how
But I
a
have
business, that's how a
right there.
I'm
business
reliable as
runs.
hell, and I got.
No, I know, it's fucked up. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but at the end of the day, that's how they build it. It's like they set you up. They set you up for failure. Like, okay, you have the money, you can be reliable. Oh, your shit is always paid on time. Oh, but you have credit, no, you can get it. And it's like,
But the thing is like you go to school to learn, and it's like, oh, we're getting you ready for your life. But in reality, they don't give two shits
like
about.
especially senior year of high school, like you're so pumped and you think everything they taught you, oh, no, credit and bills and this and that, and you're like, wait,
And
hold up,
diets,
nobody,
yeah.
taxes. I didn't even knew what taxes were when I was 18 and I had a little job, and my mom was like, okay, now you have to file your taxes, and I'm like, what is
Man,
that?
you're so privileged. I've been filing taxes since I was 16.
Nah. But you know, it's like I feel like it is really fucked up. I mean, I understand from like elementary school, middle school, and even maybe like what is it, freshman and sophomore year of high school. It's okay if you do like the whole English and math and science. It's true we don't really utilize that in our everyday life. If you really look at it, if you're ever in a place and conversations come up, it is good to have knowledge, you know, like of stuff. But I feel like your junior and senior years should be like, that's when teachers should really focus. Okay, you guys are gonna go into the real world. When you turn 18, you have to pay bills, you have to fill your taxes, you have to do this, you have to do that, and have classes, you know, about stuff like that. Because obviously we kind of have an idea, like, okay, I have a job and I have a little bank account, blah blah blah. But it really doesn't prepare you, and they also don't prepare you that once you graduate high school, your parents stop giving a fuck about you.
I mean, it goes back to also that government entity, which is public school.
True.
They're not going to teach you how to take money from the government.
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, we'll teach you all these irrelevant things so that you'll be dumb enough to
Fuck
pay
it up.
taxes and pay a high rate of taxes and then just give us more money.
And then we give you less.
So taxes and credit is basically a fucking unbeatable
They go
game.
hand in hand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you
It's
gotta
not a
learn the
law,
cheat
it's still
codes.
one.
Where's the Game Informer?
I wish. I would have
My question is, why do we have to
Well,
pay taxes? Like, who made up that like whole institution of taxes?
You're gonna pay whitey taxes whether you want to or not.
I was thinking it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then state taxes like that.
Buy one, get one free, you're buying
Well,
both.
shit, I know.
What is like, all I need is one Gatorade. But you know what? I'll take two.
Yeah.
But no, but like that's why, cause like in Jersey, and each state is different. Like in Jersey, like I never realized it that you don't pay for clothes. So like if you buy Jordans and they're 200, they're 200. Like over here, oh yeah, I got this. And boom, they're like, yeah, that's 217. I looked at the person, I was like, where's 17 going? She's like, this is taxes. I'm like, there are no taxes. I literally stood there in the store for like 3 minutes. She's like, where are you from? From here, but I moved. She's like, where do you move to? I'm like, Jersey. She's like, Jersey's weird. There's no taxes there, but there's taxes everywhere else.
There's Delaware doesn't have taxes. Is it Delaware? One of those
Yeah.
states.
Delaware doesn't have.
It's fully tax free.
Yeah, for the most part, but like they have like a lot of like their educational system is shit.
Their stuff is probably more expensive.
It's
That's
pretty
why
bad
they
down here,
have-
too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, but it's like at
You
least
talking about PS 187 is really bad.
No, but like it's just like the education system is trash just because we haven't moved since the 50s. But like at least like you've gone to like your kids could go to school and eventually you're gonna have a year where it's like here's the new book. It may be the same stuff, but it's new.
Yeah.
Up there, like I had a book with someone like you write your name and date unit.
Mhm.
Yeah, 73. Ooh, first person on that shit. Exactly. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna be Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, why don't we get new books? The teacher's like, it's the same.
It also depends on the school you go to. Because the schools that I went to, I had So they already had all the answers on it. I just like, does your books have answers? No.
No.
At all.
But it didn't even help. It was every other page had the answers. So like
Had the
one page,
answers,
it was like the odd numbers had the answers, the even numbers didn't. So your teacher could tell. She'd be like, "Yeah, you did great on this part, but you said
suck at this
everything
part."
here, and this part was easier." So I was like,
But you could really tell if it was the right answer, if it was highlighted and it had everything like circled specifically in the areas.
Oh, yeah.
"You had a good book."
Yeah,
It said
what was that?
ACDC.
I think my teacher got on to me on the last second though, because he failed me.
Oh shit.
Because he's like, question. I'm like, yes. Does your books have the answer? I'm like, no, can I see your book, damn it?
Oh.
So what book?
Won't read that book.
I was just taking it from the shelf.
Oh boy. Well, this is our first break. We're doing a 5-minute break and
World's greatest macaroni. I got my new water right here. Whew. It's so good. Sorry about that. It's so good. You know what I'm saying? It's good water here. Trying to get my new service started off. This new water right here is called Tony Bologna, the world's greatest macaroni. When you drink it down, instantly turn into a super black hero.
welcome back to the fucking show. We had a little brief break there. I hope you liked the plug that was there. Whoever the fuck it is. With a
Just
PH.
fuck
Go
shit.
support them and follow them.
I meant to say that too. I meant to say that because we had somebody. I forgot to say that too. We had somebody.
How many
from our,
times are you gonna forget to say it?
we had one of our. He showed one of our coworkers at the hospital.
Was it Carrie?
Yes.
Love
the,
it, Carrie.
The Fuck It Show.
Mhm.
But she was like, yeah, make sure to emphasize the PH because I put Fuck It on Facebook. I was like, whoa, what the? I'm at work.
You were on
yes,
YouTube.
though.
I was like, what's it called? The fucking show. And I'm just sitting there like, and then I look at her spelling it and she searches. I'm like, oh, Carrie, PH.
No.
I'm like,
Oh my
you
god.
did it, just threw it
Is
in
that
there.
Carrie with the C or a K?
C.
Okay. Carrie with a C, I do apologize.
Yes.
It's PHUCK.
But while you're at it, please like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends and family about
Oh my
us.
god. No. But please, PH.
And tell them that too.
Especially at work.
So while we're back, we have a question of the day, and we're gonna try to do this every podcast. Have a question of the day. Are you guys ready for the question of the day?
More or less.
Okay. So, are you lying to yourself and others? How do you feel that you are, and why? Ace.
Damn. Let's rock paper scissors for this. Who's going first?
Wait, nose goes.
Wait. Nose goes. What?
I know, bitch.
Are you lying to me?
Are you lying to yourself?
See what happened. As far as like lying to yourself, I mean, no, pretty much upfront with myself. I mean, the only thing, this is probably before insecure, but like I keep like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to lose weight, but I don't know why. I just can't do it.
Everybody goes to the restaurant.
Can't do it. The pizza soup. But then but like it's the same thing. Like I can tell you like, oh, if you do this, this, and this, like you can easily drop weight this way or drop like that, but like. You're like, yeah, so
true.
why don't you drink water and drop the soda? I was like,
It's easy to say.
I work night
Get
shift
to
and that
the
soda's so
restaurant.
good.
Right?
Yeah, and then like juices, not at this stage of my life, like juice is like trash.
Oh yeah.
It definitely doesn't.
It's got to have the bubbles.
It has to.
Right.
What about
I
you,
mean, that's
Mass?
like it's my best.
Me? I hate liars and I hate lying, so I usually am upfront with everything. If I don't tell you the truth, it's because there's a reason why I don't tell you the truth. So I try to keep peace.
So you're not really lying.
You're just protecting
I'm
maybe.
trying to protect the person that I'm lying to. So if I lie to you, I'm trying to keep you from getting angry, or
I've been
I'm
in a
trying to
situation-
keep you from arguing with the person.
You know what's funny? Me and my sister were having, I think it was me and my sister, we were having a conversation yesterday or the day before about how you don't want nobody to lie to you. You want people to be upfront with you, tell you the truth, like, you know, because then you feel like, oh, you betrayed me, you lied to me, you didn't tell me the truth. But if somebody does tell you the truth or does confront you, you're going to feel like they're betraying you, like they're hurting your feelings, like they're... So it's like, you can never really win with people. You know, you got to choose. You want me to tell you the truth? Or do you want me to lie and protect you? Or do you want me to tell you the truth and maybe...
You can tell a less harsh truth.
It depends on the person too, because he knows that if anything happens, I'm telling him the truth straight up in his face, and I expect the same thing from him. So if I tell you the truth in your face, I expect the same way. So it's like, but the problem is with me, I'm very blunt, so it's like, I think I'm saying it nicely, and,
Well, you're
and I'm
just-
being the biggest dick in the world, and he's like, well, you gonna be such an ass. I'm like, I was being nice.
I was being nice. Instead of like someone's like he'll talk to somebody, and instead of being like, yo, like you're a little rough on the edge, like yo, you're a fucking asshole. You need to fix that shit. And then leave, and then they'll look at me, and I was like, what he really means to say is you're a little like you're a little too mean sometimes. You can fix that. And then I come back, boss is like, he took my wife's smell. I'm like, no, you're about to fight him. It was some and his family.
I was in the car with Ace, and
That's why you're not a
driving,
spokesperson.
and Ace said something to me. You said something to me, and I answered like thinking I was being nice, and he's like, low key, you just call me fat.
No. It was. I remember what it was. You were like, we were sitting in the office, and then you're like, we're gonna go to the gym. I'm like, what are you saying? I was like,
He's just short, okay, guys? That's what it is. It's the camera.
He's short and strong.
Yeah.
Because like in my mind, I feel like I'm answering normal. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna say that we're going to the gym. There's nothing bad about that. That's not bad. And he stared at me. I'm like,
it's
what
like,
did I say?
okay, I had that second pizza, but still.
Oh my god.
So it's like I said, I try to be nice. I'm honest. I'm upfront. I don't lie to myself. I'm very comfortable in my skin. As you can see, I'm wearing pink. I don't give a three shits. Fuck you.
Hey.
Remember, he's a brony.
Cameron
Real
wears
men
pink.
wear pink.
Yeah, but do you wear My Little Pony?
I do. But in my
You're a
defense,
brony, bro.
He's the brony.
no, in my defense,
We
I have my
had a podcast
daughter
about that.
who loves.
Okay, so as long as you got a daughter, you're good, man.
So-
you got the
Oh,
car.
okay.
No,
Okay.
No, if I had the choice, I won't buy My Little Pony. Do not look over there.
But I will. I walk around.
You gotta zoom in on his
Because it's like I'm the one who doesn't care. Like honestly, I probably would have bought My Little Pony shirt just for shits and giggles because that is me. I don't care.
Did you fall in love with the shirt?
Nah, I won't fall in love with the shirt. Like I'll put it on and then people will just stare at me. If it's soft, I'll fall in love with it.
Fashion.
You know what I'm saying? It's the shit silk. You like, what is it? Is it cotton? But
Polyester, maybe.
it just depends. Like, just be comfortable with your own skin. Be honest with yourself. Don't lie, because liars are bullshitters.
I think it's liars go to hell.
Honestly,
I was like,
That's your job.
honestly,
you guys go to hell for lying.
boss, you're also very aggressively nice. There's this one time I went to the mall with him, and then we were waiting in line. And then there's a lady that was in front of us, but she stepped out. But then she came back, and then he was like, oh, like go first. She's like, no, it's okay. I stepped out. You can go. He's like, go, you can go. He's like, no, it's okay.
Go.
Go.
Get
in the line.
fucking nice. You want to accept my niceness.
You know what?
I'm right in front of me, so you're
I
gonna
am
go
paying
first.
for your pants.
He was like, you're being such a bad person. I would never call you a bitch, but hold on. And then I'm like, hey, boss, you left that on the floor. No, fuck you, bitch. I'm like, you call me a bitch. I'm trying to help your room out.
What about you, Ace?
Oh, I lie all the time. I do a lot of white lies. I do a lot of dark lies. I do a whole bunch of lies.
I like how you said dark.
The dark lies and
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about black.
He's trying to be
I'm trying to be PC. I'm trying to
Speaking
be
of which,
PC.
PT, we had a conversation yesterday. Actually, I had it on video. You and Remo or Kush De Niro talking about the difference between was it green and purple grapes?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry,
There's-
red grapes.
there's
They don't
racial
taste the same.
differences.
Don't repeat it. I'm just gonna post the video clip in here.
Listen.
Enjoy.
Click on it and listen to what Ace has to say.
Link is in the description down below.
Yes.
There we go.
Good.
All right.
What
Fucking
about you?
continue.
But yeah,
PH.
I keep as much information. I distribute information as much as I can to people that I know. I tell them a lot of stuff. Well, it's not gonna be relevant to. It's only relevant to the job, but I will keep as much information as I can.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
I know.
You told me. Yes, you're like, you keep too much secrets. I must know them. Because I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Oh no,
that.
hold on, wait. When I find out the truth, when I find out the truth about something Ace has told me, how do I react, Ace?
You're like, I'm not mad at you.
I'm disappointed.
I'm
You become Morpheus?
disappointed. And I just
Just
go,
your arms folded in the back.
damn it, that's worse.
You want the blue pill or the red pill?
Yeah, right?
All right,
You can't
so
live up
with me,
yourself.
I was a habitual liar. Oh, it was bad, man. I lied so much that I believed it.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, I didn't even know who the hell I was anymore. Then,
At one point,
like,
you thought he was a Jedi.
yeah,
You
yeah.
started
yeah,
watching
right.
a lot of Star Wars.
All right, so I'll give you like an example. So, I wasn't the prettiest swan in the where do
You're
swans
damn
go?
sexy. Shut up. That's a lie right there.
So, no matter what way, I am sexy.
Right. I was always tell my friends like, yeah, I'm smashing this chick, I'm smashing this chick, blah blah blah. Dude, I didn't
That's
really,
middle school.
I didn't really like.
Yes.
You
I
never
was-
give out names. This is the first thing.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give up names, of course.
Oh no, I meant like them. We were
Oh,
talking.
no, never
Like,
give
oh,
out
no,
names.
she goes to this other.
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Worry
She
about
was
that
so
shit.
much older.
I
yeah.
get out of school.
What's her
Yeah,
name?
right.
Shaniqua?
Oh, right. So,
First thing you get.
So the first time I actually did lose my virginity, well, you only lose your virginity once, except for the back door.
The first
Anyways,
time.
no homo.
So you lost both of them?
Pause. No, only
We're gonna
one.
run where it's
So,
going.
I was about 23 when I realized what actually happened. So like, I was like, who was the first one? Oh my god. I was like, no, really? Dude, that's when I really start working on myself. I was like, yeah, I gotta stop lying. I really have to stop. Half of the shit that I've told my wife, I don't fucking remember because I lied so much.
There's a time when he would he used to work overnights, so he knows the pains of overnights.
Oh yeah.
So he would be so tired that he forgets everything that he says. He would call me and he'd be like, give me some good advice. He'd be like, I'd be like, oh,
Don't you
that's
brush it
nice.
off, bastard. It was good advice. It was
Okay,
really good advice.
This is where the line
When
comes
I'm
from.
well rested, I don't remember shit. I am a dum-dum. When I'm tired, intelligence. You ever seen like those transformer things on the back of the toy? It says speed 5, intelligence like 3.
Yeah.
My fucking intelligence was 15. I was like overpowered in intelligence. Then when I get some sleep, I'm like, I don't fucking remember, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like, you helped save my marriage.
I did.
Wait, you were married?
Why do you have my number? Who are you? Remember, I was in room B5.
But
We did our crazy
But over time, I just stopped lying. I basically had to do it like cold turkey. Like, it's not benefiting my life. It's not benefiting anyone else around me. All I'm doing is hurting everyone around me. And if I hurt them, I hurt me.
You lied to me.
So-
You never lied to me.
Yes.
You did?
I told you I was half Filipino, like the guy from Black Eyed Peas.
You're not?
No.
Dad.
No, that was a lie. No, but yeah, I don't even lie anymore. I just fucking if I want to talk shit about somebody, I'm gonna talk shit in your face, in your face, in your
That's
face, in your
nice.
face.
You looked
Yeah.
at me first too.
Because you're next to me.
You could have looked at AC was in front.
And it's ladies first, so you know.
Let's not hang up on the only girl that's here, okay? Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry, that is. Shut your fucking mouth. With a PH.
Don't use my fucking fabulous on me.
You do?
Alright, so here's another thing I'm gonna spring off on because you were talking about it just a few minutes
I didn't
ago.
answer the question.
Oh
It should have been ladies first. Too late.
shit! Yeah, that's
Eli.
right. I mean, you asked a question, so.
So I don't get to answer the question?
All right, motherfucker, answer the question.
No, I don't want to answer.
You're not gonna answer it?
No.
Boo! Give her a boo, guys.
It goes back to
Boo.
fast forward to the beginning of the video where I said,
Actually, I think obviously I probably have lied before. I think any human that's a human has lied before.
There's a humans that are not.
I stole a cookie.
Are you lying to yourself?
I don't
though?
really. Not really. I used to, but I think that's all in what you were saying, the process of growing and like really getting to know who you are as a person, and then you just kind of have to like accept yourself and learn how to deal with yourself. So obviously there are days where you probably don't like yourself, but you talk to yourself and you work through it, and as opposed to just being like, oh fuck you, this and that, blah blah blah.
I was going crazy. Like, wait a minute. Is he like him? Leave it.
Yeah.
You were talking, and I'm like, yeah. As soon as I started hearing it, I'm like,
I know, me too. I'm talking.
What is he doing?
I'm talking, and I'm like, is that sound in my head, or if that's coming like in the real world? But yeah, I
In the
don't know.
real world.
I would like to
'Cause
think
my
that for
head
the
is
most
fake.
part, I'm pretty honest. And if I'm lying, it's probably because I'm trying to keep something from other people. Like you were saying, it's not like I'm lying because I want to like be a liar. I'm probably just withholding information just because maybe I don't feel like I should be the person to be telling you that, or I just maybe haven't found the way of like letting you know, oh hey, maybe this is going on and you should like, you know, check on that.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, I would like to think that how I feel, I speak. So
There's no nice way for that. So if you know that someone's cheating, you know someone's doing. You know,
I don't know. I used to.
that
That was a long time
man
ago.
or
Never
that
mind.
chick is not faithful. Or whatever.
Well, that can backfire.
I mean, it's
Like, really bad.
True. It's true
Yeah.
because you try to
Fuck
help
you,
people and then they
no.
make out again and then you look like the person that was trying to get in the relationship and talk shit.
Well, not only that, you just have the person that's just really stupid. And they're like, "What the fuck you say about my man?"
I don't think not.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've
I'm
known a
you
couple
know,
people like that.
your man's tweaking. You like,
I
You're
mean, I've
making
known
me
somebody
shake.
that actually had video.
I was still shaking for effect.
They had video of it. I had known somebody that they had video of it.
And they said it was Photoshop.
Actually, no, because it was.
Or it wasn't him.
That's my brother.
It was actually the company. I think it was the company or something was like trying to catch him in the act or something like that. And then
Oh,
she
you
said
talking about that fucking shit on the YouTube? The weird guy who's always trying to.
No, this actually happened like in my job.
Oh.
Honestly, and the girl was like, I don't. She's like, he's not cheating.
I don't think it's this one.
Not cheating at all.
Oh, so maybe they were in an open relationship.
No, they were. They had a kid. They were married. So.
That doesn't mean you can't have an open relationship.
If you're married,
Some people are like that.
Welcome to the modern day Babylon.
Yeah.
Modern day Babylon. You mean Sodom and Gomorrah?
Samoago por allá, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Those are
pretty much the
that's,
same thing.
that's the one that got burned down,
So
right?
what were you?
Yeah.
What were you gonna ask?
Oh yeah. So you were talking about it because I think I kind of said it earlier, then you said it again about the insecurity thing. Like we're talking about weight loss. Weight loss.
So
We're gonna talk
hard.
about before and after, like when you actually start. So who remembers when they were actually like a teenager? When they were, I'm not talking about you. Who remembers when they were like super skinny?
we took
Like
Yeah.
you guys remember that? Like
Who says we were
I
ever
was-
skinny?
No, I've looked at pictures like it's like
when I say
this
super
shirt.
skinny, it's before
You were
what
skinny
currently
though.
are. Oh yeah.
Now that I remember, you
Yeah.
showed us pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's one of those. It's not so much the skinny. It's like one of those like when you wear your shirt doesn't like contour your entire body.
Yeah.
You know
You
what I'm
look like a
saying?
sausage in a casing.
It's like your
Yeah.
chest is
Una
like more than, it's
salchicha.
like you see your stomach. And it's like
right.
with my upper body, and it's like all heat down here.
Right.
It's like,
Everything
But
is together.
What I noticed, well, working in the hospitality and also you guys work in, what we call it, healthcare.
Yeah.
I was gonna say hospitality also because you have to have bedside
Health
manner.
services.
But yeah.
He was like, "You're dying."
That's the time.
Shit.
Let's get this pointless cast.
But you ever notice that heavy set people are always fucking miserable?
We have heavy set. We have a whole floor full of heavy set people.
Are they working or dying?
They are.
They
I
are
was
creating
sitting
their
down,
own gravity.
They have gravity already.
gravity on their seats.
Oh shit!
Dad.
But
Yeah.
you ever notice that? Like most of them are unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Most of them. Well, most
Then
of them.
although I have to like I'm heavy as shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like 271, 273.
No, I
Wait,
think
less
what
than
no.
me.
I think what he means though is like heavy.
all right.
I mean,
so,
Because
that's not
even
heavy.
you look like a normal person. Like I would call you average.
I mean, plus you're tall.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can hide it better.
So it's
Yeah.
not
But yeah,
like,
but like no, I've seen people that are like crazy big, but
Yeah,
it's
when
like
they built like a fucking balloon.
Mm-hmm.
I should- oh, well, yeah. I
If
think
you
I
have
too, but it's
one-
like it depends on like the person themselves. Like there's some people that are that big that like I've met. They're like yeah, and they're okay. Like they're
Yeah,
not
but
okay with it
people
to
are
put it like they're like
they accept themselves.
they're accepted. They're not like did you make a fat joke?
Which you
Is
should.
that towards
You
me?
should.
Oh no,
It's
not
one
that
of
kind of
those.
miserable. I'm saying like when you're talking to them, it's like, hey, how are you? Fuck you in your life and
Oh, no.
all that kind of shit. Like they're
That's
just
usually
they're just
skinny.
scouts.
I've noticed there's a lot of
Skinny people are
skinny
usually more angry.
Yeah.
Skinny
Yeah.
People are assholes.
Yeah,
They're
I
more
would
like
say
that.
skinny people are
Yeah, so
angrier
skinny-
than bigger people.
They're
Yeah.
just like
I guess I just get all
They're
the fucking fat people that are just
Yeah, you get the 1%.
sick with life.
Yeah, because
A lot
everyone.
of
Most of the time
a
people
lot
are
of fat
very
people don't
nice.
really give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
gonna
like, yeah, I'm big. And what? Give me 2 number ones. With
And
a Diet
honestly,
Coke.
honestly,
Oh, hold on, I
like,
have
Oh,
one underneath
shit.
my fat right here.
Oh, disgusting.
God.
Oh.
I would say honestly,
Oh,
maybe
animals.
about 10 years ago, when the whole still skinny people were in, yeah, you would see a lot of bigger people who were probably very insecure and very miserable. But because now time has changed, and now like bigger girls are like being models and are being mainstream models, and now being like big and curvaceous is actually embraced and it's celebrated a little bit more, and it's becoming more part of like the mainstream norm, I think it has helped a lot of bigger people to love and accept themselves and not see themselves as like, oh, you know. And now, because I see, and I think that's beautiful, because coming from a girl, I mean, I'm not like huge, but I'm not a skinny girl either, you know. It helps, because when I was growing up, all the people that I was looking up to was like Shakira and people like who were like this skinny and blonde and beautiful. Now I can look at Ashley Graham and all these beautiful women, and it makes you feel like, okay, I'm cute too, and I can be accepted. And now you see more women like big women, beautiful, all dressed up, and their hair is done and their makeup is done, and they're like famous in YouTube and influencers. So I think at least in that aspect, I am grateful. Not for myself, because I already am at the stage where I accepted myself. So I'm cool with how I am. You know, I don't see an issue with myself.
All right, I'm gonna stop you right there.
But
do you think it's okay to promote being big and beautiful, though?
Healthy, big.
to accept yourself in a way of like accept yourself, yes. To promote that it's okay to continue to have unhealthy lifestyles that make you that way, no.
Well, actually, there's become it's not even new. I've known about y'all for a minute, but like seeing how like everyone switched from like the super skinny to like when that one girl was on American Top Model, like she was kind of like bigger, like to like bigger girls or whatever, like because like we will all say like you rather hug up curvy girl than a bag of bones, but then like the girls who are skinnier now. Like, now they hate their bodies. And, like, some of them are actually like, just in with abs. Like, I don't want this, I want to get, like, bigger or whatever. Like, they think they're too skinny.
Right.
So now, like, everything that we have all the years from the bigger girls trying to, like, starve themselves, now we got the opposite.
But they are, but I think they are, though.
And then some people didn't realize, like, your body, like, there's, like, body styles and frames or something like that. Like,
everybody's not built the same.
even if I were to slim down, I would still be on the, like, for the health chart, I'll be on the XL. Oh, damn. Edit that shit out! Edit that shit out!
I thought you were talking about like the medical chart.
No,
they tell you that way you're borderline obese.
actually, because like, no.
I didn't know you were talking about clothing.
No, it's the medical chart too, but that doesn't hurt me because like, you remember Landon?
No, I wasn't trying to be hurtful. I'm being very
Landon was
honest.
on mild obese. And
Yeah, they
Landon's
have things like
he's
that.
172.
Yeah, he was skinny though.
Yeah, but
But
no,
they
I'm
have
talking
that.
about that.
That's why they judge you.
Now I'm talking about like there's scientific. There's like you have your height. So I'm
Yeah,
six.
like
I'm
endo-
6'1".
endomorph,
Yeah,
height
I'm
is
6'1", so I'm
different,
XL 6'1", so like I should be
I was not
197.
trying to.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I don't care.
I thought you were talking about the medical chart.
No, it is the medical chart, but it's a different version.
Even
of it.
worse for you.
Because there's body. Oh, trust me, I got people that will trash you. I heard way worse.
I have a Jamaican
Like
wife.
that.
I get called fat every day,
That's
so
small.
I'm good.
I used to get
But no, but it's like there's like I didn't realize there were different like even though we're all 6'1" or whatever they say like that, there's different styles. So I'm on the XL like just the height you go. So for me XL I have to be 197. Which sounds ridiculous. That's Troy Polamalu was like curvy. And then they're smaller, so like you could be 6'1" and be like 170 or something like that. It was like Nate Diaz. So like we're being the same height, but he has a smaller body frame than I do. So like I would have to be on a higher weight scale than him to be healthy. It's just by
Yeah, it's
how your body
mass index.
Yeah, the BMI.
Yeah, but people don't understand it. They just be like, oh, I'm too skinny, blah, blah. It's like, no, you're in a smaller body frame because you're from like kind of this race or whatever. There's so much factors that go into it. No one ever realizes it.
It's just
Especially when you get big.
On that,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's another body type because like for me, example, I could go and lift weights. I want to be. I might want to be like, oh, I want to be this big giant dude. I might not become this big giant.
Oh, yeah.
I might get as fit as Conor McGregor or maybe as Cristiano Ronaldo, and I'll be like just tight muscle and.
And
that's
also
it.
depends on genetics too.
Yeah.
Like some people are genetically predisposed to just be fucking beast.
Exactly.
Some people just
Viking people, yeah.
right? Like I'll tell you the difference between me and Fabian, who's
I
also
was
on
just
the
gonna
show.
say about that, yeah.
Fabian can eat the same amount of food as me,
And not gain one.
not gain weight. Me, on the other hand, I'll fucking gain 50 pounds.
I mean, it goes down to also an evolutionary thing. Like people that can retain weight, they actually survive more. Those that have really high metabolisms, they're not going to survive. They're going to have to constantly hunt for back to the.
They're basically spoiled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then our
never
culture
spoiled
also
rats,
doesn't
but
make
that's
sense.
how.
That's just how their metabolism is.
Yeah, our culture's food like has it up as in like because like for example, chicken, rice and beans. Rice and beans are both carbs. So instead of being separate carbs, we put them together so it's double carbs.
Yeah.
And like, it tastes good, blah blah. But like back then, like because like we're all us three are Puerto Rican, so we're were Taino Indians. And back then, they're on the island of Puerto Rico. If you're in the middle, you're hunting, whatever thing are there, but you have to be in the beach. You have to be in, like, you have to go to the sea or whatever. And Puerto Rico waves are crazy, and there's rocks everywhere. It's like you're in the beach for a little bit, and then like 10 feet, you're in the ocean. It just drops. So it's like they have to swim through that. So like all the energy that you're expending to go to do that is why you need all those carbs.
Right.
Nowadays, and this is also why like I shop away too, is like I used to walk everywhere from Wilmington. I used to be in Garfield East to Garfield, Packers, and and if you're hearing these, it's the equivalent of walking from a neighborhood to another neighborhood. So like this neighborhood will be like these blocks, and I'll walk to these blocks. So I've essentially walked the entire town just hanging out with friends.
Right.
And I still ate my body still that what you call it weight. But like I said, like us and I raised, the food hasn't changed. When I got older, my style of eating stuff hasn't changed. So since I now have a car, I don't walk as much or at all. I'm bigger, but like he's even sitting with me. Like the moment we'll like play basketball, or even like do weights, like I'll just start like trim the stuff down quick.
Right.
And he'll look at me because like I don't like you see what I do, like I don't eat bad in the sense. Like I work, this is the only times I work, like we saw our badge and all the others, like the candy bars and soda, and half that shit's free.
Right.
So like that's where it's from. Like if we go like I house-wise, like he'll be like, you want cake? I don't eat cake. I don't eat ice cream. I don't eat milkshakes. I don't like cheese. I do, but like I'll have like a slice of it. I'm not.
It's very funny because it's like the first.
He eats way more than me and way more healthy.
Yes.
And I love your life.
I eat anything. Everything. If it breathes and it's green, I eat. That's how I always do it. That's how
Every other color.
And any other color. As long as it does say poison on it.
Yeah, we're good, right?
You hear that, ladies?
Hey, but no,
Link
seriously.
below.
The thing that always made me laugh is like we have a guy at work that always comes in and he's like, "Oh, you gotta watch your boy how he eats. He's eating this." I'm like, first of all, you need to watch your fucking mouth because he eats salad. He eats.
Wait, who's saying that? Oh, I wonder.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
That's the part you should probably believe. For your safety.
Not for his sake.
No, our table's
But the thing is, like, he does not eat bad. Like, he literally will eat rice and beans, chicken, pork. He eats everything that's like a good balanced meal, and he'll literally eat half of it how much as he's supposed to eat. Right. If he's not doing exercise or anything, he eats the portion he needs to eat. And then it's like when he does do the exercise, he's like, "Oh man, I'm hungry." And he eats the amount he needs to eat for him to get back that muscle weight.
Yeah.
Me on the other hand, I'm like, "Oh, that's food."
Right.
Just eat that. It's like 2 burgers, 2 fries, and then Powerade. Okay, I eat all that. He eats 1 sandwich, 1 pack of fries, and half his drink, and he puts the rest away.
Right.
And then it's like how I eat and he eats better than me. And
It's just genetics.
It just makes me laugh.
So I have to just be active for the most part.
That's true. Well, the part going back to like the standard of beauty and whatnot when it comes to like weight and stuff, there's always going to be a switch up or a paradigm shift between like the standard being like fat women and then like not skinny, but like bigger women and then like a skinnier woman. Back in the days, if a woman was like bigger, she was considered attractive. That means the husband
Able to bear children.
Yeah, able to bear children, and they had money and whatnot. If you're skinny and you had tan skin, that means you're out there in the fields, you were working, like you were doing whatever. So then that changed, I think, in the 50s.
In the Hollywood,
Hollywood started. They started getting
becoming,
Started slimming.
the standard for society,
No, because I think the more availability of like fast food was starting to come into play. So then you got this affordable fast food, and then you're like all these bigger women coming in, and you got these other women that are skinnier, eating less and like going out to the beach and whatnot, like sunbathing and whatnot. So then that became the standard of beauty, like skinny, tan, and all that stuff. So now it's going back again. So it's always going to be like.
It's gonna be a shock,
Shout out to melanoma.
I also think too, like, when I was in school, and I had never gone through that even in Puerto Rico. Like, I remember when you had PE, like these people would come from like it was like a whole. They came from the doctor, the county, whoever, and they would like, the girls would go to the locker rooms and the boys would go to a different locker room, and they would like weight you. They would like make you bend down to check your spinal cord, and then they would get this thing and pinch you see how fat you were.
Yeah, they do that shit over
And then
here.
they would tell you, you know, yeah.
Over
They
here?
would, yeah, they pinch you.
Oh, I
They
was
pinch
saying
you.
it's like this, like
They either pinch you here or they pinch you
They
here.
did.
And then they tell you how much.
Well,
What
they-
fucking school did I go to?
Well, I went to Glen Ridge and Winter Park, and man, like,
Well, I was
white
down in
people, so they're like,
Miami,
we're gonna
so
stop
it's
school,
a
you'll
little
sit
different.
face.
That shit was
And
weird.
minorities, they don't
Like,
give a
should
shit.
said like, oh, we don't touch your weight. I'm like, okay, cool.
And then they
Lift
pinch
your-
you, and you're
they're
like-
lift your shirt up. I'm like, for what? We're gonna pinch your skin. For what?
Yeah, and you're like, what's
It's
going
like,
on?
it's
And
just-
then I'm looking at the other Spanish people who are all like looking at each other like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
is and we
that
see
was
the white
my
people and I
face.
was like, okay. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, they're used to it. And I'm like, what is this?
This
Like, I
is
was
exactly
so
why you're on the milk cart.
Yeah.
That's what you
No, but that's the
do.
difference between like,
Yeah, and I think
like,
that was-
like class and like
Yeah.
where you're at. Like once they deem your school like
By
a
race.
minority or whatever, because like I went to Wilbur High School. I left here, went to New Jersey. Wilbur High School, when Wilbur first started, used to be like just like Jewish people. It was a higher place. It's still suburbia, but like, they started like bringing like minorities in there or whatever. And then people were, I guess, offended or whatever. So like they started getting their kids out of school and in private schools. So then the money starts going there. And it's really like the money thing. Once your school is considered like black or whatever race that's there that's a minority, you're no longer like looked at as high, even though like there's mad intelligence. And all that
What's
shit.
crazy is they always want to say it's an A school or a B school. A schools get more funding. No, it's not all.
Plus, there's so many schools like steal from each other. Like in New Jersey, I'm just
Come on, we
quick-
seen it on Bring It On.
No, but this was actually illegal. Like they should like all be arrested, but you know it's not gonna happen. What in high school in New Jersey, which I don't know if they have it here, you're allowed to go to an alternative school, which is called BCIT. And what is a trade school. The school is massive as hell. You have 15 minutes like, between periods because you have to walk that far to get to your class. So it's like if you let's say you really love cars, you go to your freshman year. After 4 years, you already know everything for schooling thing. So you go to college, you don't have to do those years, or whatever, basically, or you could like go straight to the workforce. So what will happen is the kids from everywhere could go. So like it's here in the middle, all the surrounding cities. So here will be like you could do Winter Park, Colonial, Curry Ford, all that could go right in the middle. They keep you for the first semester, and like you can get fights, you can blah blah blah, and they don't give a shit. After the first semester's over, the very like next 2 weeks to a month, once you start getting in trouble, they'll kick you out of school. Then they'll start kicking you out of school. The school will start with like let's say 3,000 people, and by the end it'll be like let's say 2,500. When you kick the person out of the school and they go to the other school, the money that's going from the states has to go to the other school to apply for the kid.
Oh.
They keep the money. The school doesn't get the money for that child to the next year. So all the schools get to pay the kids back, and we don't have enough money for all of them. So then like, it started to like affect other things. And they've been doing this for years, and it's still
That's crazy.
not been stopped. So like, and like that's why they're able to pay for all these things. Like they freaking have like getting ready for cops and fixing cars, the actual lifts and all that stuff, and they're paying for all that with the money for everyone that gets in there because they know, like everyone is by the time school starts to where it ends, you're not gonna have maybe not even 90% of kids. They just keep money. It's just like they'll let you fight, you do all your bad stuff, and then they'll kick everybody out and they'll keep the money. It's like what is it like let's say hypothetically $5,000 a head for a kid for a whole school year.
Yeah.
You kick out like let's say like 100. That's like 100K right there to keep, and whatever that's what they want to use it for.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because I had a friend, he went to this one high school, which I won't name, but he said, "Yeah, I was in wood shop. There was no wood." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, the teacher made us go pick sticks out of like the fucking schoolyard, man. And we had to cut that up and make that." I was like, "What, dude? Aren't they supposed to have like some kind of lumber for you guys to do that?" He was like,
Or
"Yeah."
Yeah,
they rid of that
fuck it.
entire
It's
thing.
like- it's a
Like my school, I could tell like how much it regressed from like what it used to be, and then like between BCIT, stealing money, whatever. Like I got ISS my like junior year. Like it was weird. I never got in trouble out of school. I got in trouble all the time in school. All the teachers and the security guards loved me. Makes no sense, but whatever. I was in. They brought back in school, and I was like, please just suspend me. They're like, no, you'll be here. We're in the old wood shop, and it was legit like it was just cut out this big thing. You had like the kind of cement floors, the table, the stuff, and there was like a second floor. You go up there. I was like, oh, yeah, this used to be wood shop for this, and they also used to kind of like work on like little car mechanics things like that. Like sweet. When did this happen? Like yeah, they cut this off in like '92, and like they we got rid of all of our electives. So our electives my senior year, like actually my junior senior year, your electives were like extra math, history, and then like there was art. And like you couldn't do music because to do the music program, you can only be in this program if you've done music when you were younger as a kid and in a band. So it's gonna be like, oh, I want to learn, drums, whatever. There's no like, oh, you can sign
You
up like,
basically
no.
have to have qualifications before you're even able to get into class.
And then you have to be in the class, and then if you're in the class, you're pretty much in the band. You have to like, if you don't want to be in the band, you can't be in the class. So I can't do that, and then I can't learn woodshop because they don't want to bring nobody for that. So like everything was set up for there, and I was just like, it was a room that wasn't used for like fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
collecting dust. Where
At least
teachers
you guys
go
have
kiss and
electives. In Puerto
touch
Rico,
other
there's no
kids.
electives.
oh, that was long.
In Puerto Rico, you do science, math, Spanish, English, blah, 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 and go home. And I think that's what has contributed to a lot of like the crime and everything over there, because all these kids, they don't really have anywhere to go after school. They don't have sports, they don't have art, unless you're in a private school.
Yeah.
So where do you go? You go to the streets. And
Didn't the government steal the money also?
of course,
Yeah,
I
they,
mean,
they got $1 billion whatever, and they stole the
I
money.
feel for my island.
But
and
they're
my
all,
people.
but like when they finally found out like a couple years ago, is like you can't. First of all, you can never get the money back that they've spent because like they spend it on like high
They're
end
like
states
at
and
a
stuff.
trillion
Yeah, they're like,
freaking debt.
and I think they got $1 billion loan to like because we're gonna bring Puerto Rico up and blah blah blah. But they kept most money themselves, and all those people that were in government at that time are like on life support. So like you can't, even if you put them in jail, they're not gonna work to make the debt back, and the work that you're gonna make is like $2. And
They're
most
either
of it
dead or in
is
jail,
gonna be
yeah.
owned by whoever owns the place.
Right.
So most of them are either dead or on the way. So it's like there's no point in doing it. So.
Well, my problem with schools are though is like they always focus on the people who are in the high classes, on like the honors classes. Like for me, I have autism. I can barely read. I can't even spell anything. You can tell me to spell something, I can't spell it, and I'm proud of that. Like that's me. So I was like, I tell everybody like, oh, I can't spell, and he knows that. I text him, and he's like, yo, try spelling it like this, and I try, but it's like I can't get a grasp on it. And it's just because I can't spell in English and Spanish, is I can't. But
I
in
just learned something
school,
new from you.
in school, it basically shows.
My
Because
cousin
when I was
has
going to
autism,
school, they didn't focus on my class. Like my class was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Things from like first grade, second grade, and it's like instead of helping us improve on what we're struggling at, they just gave us stuff that we already learned.
Yeah.
So it's like they're already sympathizing us by like, oh, you're not worth teaching anything new.
Oh yeah. They basically just give up on you.
They gave up on us, and that's how it goes, and that's what frustrated me. And it's like my mom always like, oh, why don't you like going to school? Because I'm not learning nothing. Everything that I already know, I already learned 5 years ago.
Here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing. I heard about this. I think I told you about this. And I think it was in Nevada. There was a school that basically they had like a limited amount of students there, and they had one class that had like there was like a mixture of different types of students that like that had special needs and whatnot. They basically played Grease every single day.
What the fuck?
Excuse me?
They just played Grease, the movie Grease, every single day. They learned nothing at
Grease
all.
lightning?
Yeah, Grease.
Yep.
The movie Grease. Yeah. And then a teacher came in. He was like, "What's going on?
What the fuck is going on
What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Let me fix all this stuff." So all the teachers knew about it. They're like, "Oh, you guys are watching Grease today?" So
Oh shit!
yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Interesting.
Same.
As a kid, like you have those classes like when like you go to the class and there's not a teacher or whatever, or you like you get to hang out, talk, blah blah. And like now that I'm older, you don't realize like, damn, I missed out on shit that I should have learned. I could have done whatever. I mean, I still agree that like they wasted time on certain things that are stupid. That like I will never drive past a sign that's a fraction that says solve for this, and that'll be the speed limit. Like,
Right.
But it's like there's other things that like. I don't know how to balance a checkbook. I'm learning about like credit, like what we said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like now as I'm getting older, now that I realize I can't buy
I
half
mean,
this
Gordon
shit.
tried to teach us a lot of this stuff too. But what was that one test that replaced the FCAT?
Shit. FSA.
Yeah, that's
FSA.
something.
Yeah.
That is basically taking up most of the school time for
Yeah.
a lot of things that.
Yeah, because
could
now
be-
it's all
could be
focused on
learned.
that test.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about one more thing, speaking about schools or whatever, and we're gonna wrap this up. Did you know now in schools, like especially like elementary schools, say for instance your kid is misbehaving or they have a diagnosis, like the kid, they don't know what's going on with the kid or whatever, and they just think the kid is acting out or not paying attention. They have a sensory room.
Told me about that one, yeah.
It's an all-white room
That's
with
what-
no windows,
No, you
no
don't
music,
know.
no sound, no nothing. is supposed to calm the child down.
So it's supposed to be
That
like
would freak me
lockdown,
out.
like a jail lockdown.
Yeah.
It's like the what's it called? The hole or whatever you want. Like they always get different names.
Yeah,
Like you're
but
going
it's
to
just
shoot.
it's like just bright white in there.
That's what they do. The prisoners that like.
Ever watched Matilda? The movie, they have this thing called the chokey, and they basically have.
Oh yeah,
They had nails in it.
Yeah.
And it's like they had to have them stand up, and they have the nails like sort of like arranged so that they only can stand up.
Yeah.
Like a good like whole day or something like that.
Mhm.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's like
Stuff like
medieval
that.
fucking torture, dude.
I know, yeah, but it's not. Of course, it's a movie. Of course, it's not like. It's
Yeah,
not
less
true
version
life.
of torture is just regular like solitary confinement, and that's like that never works for anybody.
You know what's fucking torture? When a teacher calls you out, and like, say for instance, you're like this, and it's like, Eli, the fuck is the answer? And you're like, so the answer. All right, see me after class. You couldn't even answer the shit.
You're like, damn, I was thinking for a second, and you just, or when they ask you to read, and you're not even on the page, you don't even know
And
where
that was the thing why insecurity then.
I hated that. Like, don't make me read.
I don't like to read out loud because like I
Yeah.
work at a high level. So I can read, but it's like you have people to be like, they'll read faster than we are talking right now.
Yeah.
And then like once in a blue moon, like I would get lost. The teacher's like, "What? You don't know where I'm?" Like, no. She's like, "No, no water or whatever the hell." It's like,
Oh, no water, yeah, the fucking.
But then like
peppermint.
when you're trying to read it, they're reading it, and they're like, you're kind of like, I can read, but then I'm starting to get nervous now because as I'm reading, I hear how I'm reading like this, and you know people behind you are just like, this motherfucker right here.
Yep.
And then when you get to high school, like it's even worse, like because high school they let you skip, they'll give a shit. This one dude was like, he said, "Oh, I want to read," and then we make fun of it, like because we know his person can't read, and he's like, "No, don't pick it." And then started reading, we're like, "Damn, you know your dumbass can't read," and then a fight would ensue because you wanted him to read. Like, because he's like defending himself, but at the same time, like because like us, we just want to get through the thing, but he wants to read because maybe he likes to read, even though he's not as great, or he's just nervous. But it's like those are like just.
I think we talked about this before on one of the podcasts. We talked about schooling and whatnot. And I think it was about homeschooling.
on one of the podcasts that we cannot
Private
show.
school going to
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
public
true,
school?
yeah.
Is that the one?
No, it was homeschooling.
Homeschool.
Well, we
Yeah.
did talk about that.
Yeah, but I have to go back and see which podcast it was because
We were
this,
sitting right here.
technically this should be like podcast number 15.
By now, this should be like podcast
this is actually
20
eight.
something.
This is
But
actually
we
eight,
had like, I would say we had about 4 or 5 podcasts before some things happened that maybe in the future, once we're up there and we could actually discuss that without having any repercussions. So we had to kind of cut that. And then we had to start all over again on our episodes.
Same.
So that's why we're right now like on episode 7. This would be podcast 7.
No, this would be 8. This would be
Number 8. Number 8.
But yeah,
Yeah, this would be because me and him were 7 and my debut was 6.
yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, so yes, number 8. But realistically speaking, we would have about like probably more than 18 by now, which hopefully once season 1 is done, we will be able to kind of get those and do something with them somehow.
Yeah, I'll probably make some clips.
Yeah, and get them out for
But
you.
going back to
So
that,
yeah, we have a lot of
that's-
things we've talked about. You guys just haven't
Yeah,
gotten to
going
see
back to
them.
that, you already know that I'm like in ABA field, that's applied behavioral analysis.
Mhm.
I say that that should be one of the classes that teachers going into the teaching field should go into it.
Mhm.
And one of my ABA people that was training me that actually said it was like they only do about a day, not even a day, but like 3 hours of that when it's supposed to be at least 4 days sort of thing.
Mhm.
So they say, oh, you do this and that. That's it. That's how you get the kids to behave,
You're right.
basically.
No.
They give you like the gist of the gist of the gist of the gist.
No.
So
You don't know
that's
what
why
these
there's a
kids
lot
are
of.
going through.
I mean, that's why a lot of the teachers that you're hearing a whole bunch of different things in the news about what's going on with the kids and like traumatized and whatnot, and like a lot of these things could be avoided if they did have that as a mandatory class for ABA. So yeah.
Honestly, I
I
think
agree.
they should, instead of just having them do it for like 4 days, they should do this shit often, like each quarter.
Yeah.
A refresher.
Kind of go away for like
you
little
have to do this
conferences to
stuff.
refresh.
If like in hospitality, we have to do those refreshers for ADA.
Mhm.
You guys familiar with ADA, right? Americans with Disabilities Act. So
Yeah, I
basically,
know
you
how
have
they
a
got
lot of
people.
shit you have to follow, like
Mhm.
with service animals. Your bed height can only
The
be
way you
certain
ask
high. Your
questions,
sink
talk
can be
to
here.
them, yeah.
Your toilet can only be so
I didn't know that
tall.
existed.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
It's
the
a
hospital's
big
already
deal.
been, hospital's already been like made that way to accommodate.
Yeah, so it's like we have to be that, or we already have to.
You guys already have the
Yeah.
tools. We
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of have to
sorry.
learn how to utilize
Yeah.
what we have.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. No, we have a situation with what are they called? The service animal, but it was like an emotional support dog.
In the service animal.
Yeah, like I didn't know that because I had asked about it before, like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they could go with them everywhere. So we're gonna like leave to do this test. You know, like, I don't know if the dog come in. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I thought they could. And I'm freezing. The girls like, no, we're gonna go. Like, he's a service animal, and then like it took a nurse come out to be like, oh, no, it's a service animal. We can't deny them. And then as we're walking with the dog, I was like, oh, okay. Like stuff like that, like isn't overly like told.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, on podcast number 9, we're gonna talk about service animals.
Yeah.
Because this shit, that
It's
people ruin it
ridiculous.
for other people.
The peacock.
Yeah. No, definitely a peacock or a monkey. But hey, this has been the fucking show with Cameron
Valerie.
Ace.
Boss.
Eli
and fuck you guys with a PH.
with a PH.
Yes.
PH.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Ladies, check your pH
comment,
balances.
Like and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys next week with another Fuck It Show.